Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. Normally, we are looking at player props here on a Tuesday night in the NBA. 10 games to choose from for you guys, so plenty to look at here. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Also got a couple game videos up for you on this big slate as we do each and every weekday this season. Also want you to head to thelines.com. That's where we have all of our great written content for you guys each and every night of this NBA season that we have games to talk about. And we can you can go ahead and use our odds finder tool on there. That's where you can get the best juice back on all these NBA player props. Make sure you're getting the best odds available out there across those U.S. sports books. Nate, let's go ahead and jump into your first NBA player prop for tonight.
Yeah, it's Dre Day with Day Draymond Green. And as always, we're not really looking at points with him. We're looking at rebounds and assists, 14.5 as even money, plus 100 at DraftKings. You can take the long shot triple-double if you think maybe he can get 10 points. It's plus 1,800, which is great odds, obviously. But, he doesn't look to score very often. He had 3 points, 13 rebounds, and 13 assists in their latest home route. He did have 17 in their one home road win during their recent gross road trip there. So it is possible for him to score more than 10 points. Just throwing that out there. But in general, at home last season, 7.5 assists and eight rebounds. This season, right there again, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. So he's right at the prop. But Charlotte, the team that gives up the second most rebounds, fourth most assists overall, and consistently the most rebounds to centers. Draymond, not your traditional center at all, but Charlotte, the point is they're terrible on defense everywhere. They're on a back-to-back here. They're 12-3 to the over when they're road dogs and going over by 12 points per game. So should be a lot of points here. Should be a lot of stats to go around.
Yeah, just a ton of possessions, which is what you're looking for. And add the points if you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, he might just be able to throw in a couple layups here and there, maybe get to the line a few times. I wouldn't hate the points as well, but I think if the Dubs are going to sort of follow along with our game theory of the way that they should be playing and the way that they play at home, Draymond's got to be a part of this offense. Like, he can't just be the captain of the defense anymore, the way he has been most of this season. So I think he knows that. And I think you'll continue to see him step up at home. Not sure how I'd feel about it on the road, but definitely at home right now. So moving on to a game that we had considered talking about, but we'd really much rather not talk about the Los Angeles Lakers any more than we absolutely have to anymore. We do love talking about the Orlando Magic. I don't know if you know this, Nate, but this is by far my second favorite team in the league this year. I might just be a Magic fan moving forward after my Knicks, but Franz Wagner is a huge reason for that. Him and his brother Moritz, we know, playing super well together. But Franz is 18.5 points on DK at minus 125. You can also get 19.5 for him. So for him to get 20 on FanDuel, that's minus 102. I'm definitely taking that extra point to get my juice up to even money there. In his last 10, Franz 21.5 points a game. I will say he scored 19 points in at least 8 of 10. He scored 20 in 6 of 10. So right, like, he's normally scoring 19. A lot of times scoring 20. So there's not that much difference for me. There's enough of a difference in the juice I get back to take that. He's been shooting 45% from the field, but I really love the 37.5% from 3 on about 5.5 attempts. He's been playing 34 minutes as well, and as he's really become like their second ball handler behind Markelle Fultz. So when Fultz is not on the floor, he's essentially their primary ball handler, which is fine because they also have Paolo on there, who's just almost as good of a sort of playmaker as Franz has become, which is really the biggest part of his game. That's why he's got a 25% usage rate in those 34 minutes over his last 10. And we're talking about the Magic taking on the Lake Show, which is just the lack of D show in their last 5, worst defensive rating in the league. And they allow points from everywhere that Franz wants to score. He scores 50% of his points from the paint. That's where the Lakers are bottom 7 in terms of allowing points in the paint. They allow the second most 3-pointers in the league. Franz scores 23% of his points from deep. Pretty much the rest are from the free throw line. I think you can expect him to get a few offensive boards in there as well. He's got a number of second chance points that he's been scoring off of as well. So I just like the opportunity for a lot of different Magic to score in this game. I think there'll be a lot of points in Orlando against the Lakers, and Franz's prop just is a little bit low for me, and so I'm going to go ahead and hit that over.
Yeah, I think he buried the league, which is Lakers 126 defensive rating in their last 5 without Anthony Davis. Happy with Franz or Paolo or Wendell Carter Jr. or anybody you want to take in that Magic front court to score against the Lakers. Deandre Ayton, coming off a nice game against the Nuggets, has struggled against the Grizzlies in his last 4 for various reasons. But I'm banking on the bounce back here. I mean, his previous 4 before that had a double-double in all of them, 16.5 points, 14 rebounds. He needs to play a lot against a big team like the Grizz. And he's going to need to score more if Devin Booker's still out with that groin. He has a double-double in 5 of his last 7 without Book. Granted, one of the ones that he did not was against Memphis. But averaging 21 points, 10.5 rebounds in that span, with a 28% usage, scoring 3 points per game more when Book sits since last season. So 29.5 points and rebounds is a competitive line. It's tough to take the over. I'm still on it, though. I think the Suns will not get blown out in Memphis as much as Memphis is in a bounce-back spot going back home. But the double-double at plus 105 actually seems more appealing to me because I think he's a guy who goes 17 and 12 or something similar that could fall just short. But he is a double-double reliably for this Suns team. I mean, he is their only rebounder at this point. So, I mean, I think that's just great odds right there.
Yeah, no, the double-double is the easy bet. This is the exact same situation as what I actually did tonight with Jarrett Allen, where I was like, I actually was a little bit less confident in the rebounds, but he got that. He only got the 10 points. Felt really good about that there with that double-double. It's the same concept with Ayton. Like, I love the 10 rebounds for him. So if you want to just go ahead and get the juice on the double-double, that's a great play there. Like you said, he's their main and almost only rebounder, but I want to give a quick shout out to Torrey Craig because my man has been skying for some boards as I've been watching these Phoenix Suns games late at night as well. So shout out Torrey Craig. I love his game. A guy who is Torrey Craig, if Torrey Craig was a lot better on offense, is Aaron Gordon for Denver. And I think his points prop is just a little bit too low. And so I'm going to give you a few caveats here. 17.5 points over that. I'm taking that pretty much no matter what. If you want to add the rebounds to get 24.5, you get a little bit better juice on FanDuel with that. But if Domantas Sabonis is playing, I don't really feel the need to throw rebounds in there. It's basically going to be Domantas and Nikola just battling each other for like 15 to 16 rebounds each, I would imagine. So whoever doesn't get it on whichever tall white European dude doesn't get it on for one team, the other guy probably will. So I think the rebounds are a little bit more of a gamble with him as opposed to just getting 18 points in his last 10. He's averaging 20.5. He is averaging about 7 boards. I mean, both of those get you over. On the road and as well, pretty much the same numbers, 19.5 points a game, 6.6 boards on the road. But Sac is a good rebounding team, so it's not necessarily like the best opportunity. While their defensive rating is, like we talked about in the game video, about 114 at home, which is good for giving up 118 points per game with how fast they play. They're basically top 6 or 5 in limiting opponent rebounds, enough so that even at the fast pace that they play, they are gobbling up defensive rebounds. It's just you can score on them if you want. You can get your 49 to 50% field goal percentage as a team, and probably shoot close to 37% from deep. So I think you can feel good about Aaron Gordon being all over the place and getting 18 points tonight.
Yeah, I think it'll be all over the stat sheet. I mean, I love points in this game, like I was saying in the game video. What about 3 assists for plus 155? Can I interest you in that? I mean, he's starting to share the ball and working a little bit of two-man game with Joker down low and facilitate a little bit. And the Kings, I mean, they give up tons of paint points at home, on the road, wherever. So I think you can either tack those on total PRA or take the assist.
Yeah, I think they're also probably limiting opponent rebounds because their opponent field goal percentage is so high that there are no rebounds to get, which is why we also like points in this one. So, like you said, it's a pretty fun Tuesday night slate here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. That is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along with us. And until we see you next, happy betting.